Okay, we're in version C. Take a moment to click over to version C. If you read all the way through version B, at the bottom you'll see the scroll effect. Just click on C and here we be. Those are the 10 Sefirot again. We need to be reminded because 10 historical aphorisms on Kabbalah and Kafka. Now the truth is, this is written for experts. Somebody wrote 10 ahistorical aphorisms or 10 ahistorical whatevers. Very brilliant scholar that I look up to. But I have to rewrite everything. In fact, since I've already admitted that if you read something, good readers rewrite whatever it is they're reading. So number one, authentic Kabbalah is a revelation and never hidden. Why hide the truth? What kind of a game is that to play? Or to say you have to be a 40-year-old man filled with Torah to gain wisdom? Nonsense. This is available everywhere. Kabbalah has no secrets, only basics. Yisod to Yisod, if you know a little bit of Hebrew. It's all a game. There are no secrets. There's no need for secrets. A is the map maker. A meaning the Eibishter, the one who's above us, meaning God. And Torah is the mapping guide. That's all you need to know. Kabbalah tropes towards truth. Truth is most often told best in a song, in poetry. A and the imaginations are one. So we'll stop here for a second. I have a brief comment on that. Of all the people to be my major guru spiritually, it is at the Hartford Insurance was a vice president who was a lawyer named Wallace Stevens. The key poet of the 20th century is my best Kabbalah teacher. Listen why. He says, God and the imagination are one. And we're going to see in a poem that I'm going to read, God and the imagination are one. So, okay, if you want to tell me there's no God, I would just think, well, sorry, you have no imagination. But whatever you imagine is one of the gods. So that act of thinking creates God. Get it? So now we can talk a little bit more freely about God as a poetic idea. Kabbalah is the law. We'll get into that later. A map is not the territory. And then Kabbalah is tikkun in 10 dimensions. And now we get to the start of the Hasidic movement, and this is so fascinating to me. AHVH is the great and blessed name. So the Baal Shem Tov, the master of the great name, who started the Hasidic movement, he had his concept of what the great name is. This is Rabbi Alpern's great name. I believe it's right in the first verse. AHV, Aleph He Vav He, instead of Yud He Vav He. And of course, if you know your Hebrew at all, you know that the Aleph just adds a few more dimensions to the Yud, and on top of every Aleph is a Yud, and everything has significance. The thing is about all of these letters is the letters are instructive. And the great poets of the 20th and 19th century became aware of this, as we will see. And believe it or not, this is the most humorous thing to me. Franz Kafka is Rebbe of our age, a Moses and an all too human life. Franz, Kafka, and Moses. Well, Franz, and I think of him as my kind of spiritual godfather, Franz spent the end of his life where he had tuberculosis of the larynx, studying the Torah with Dora Diamant, his beloved girlfriend. He wanted to marry her. Well, you'll learn all about Franz Kafka in the screenplay called Consider Me a Dream that I wrote. And I'd love to have it made into a movie. Because W.H. Auden, of all people, said we now live in the era of Kafka, the Kafkan era. And everything that Franz struggled with, we struggled with. So this is, you want to get to know this person, right? And what do we have next here? Oh, and Kafka said, what do I have in common with Jews? I hardly have anything in common with myself. I could have written that. So, what can you say? And is autobiography possible? Stevens, God bless him. It's a rabbi's question. Let the rabbis reply. And of course, any good rabbinic reply would be yes and no. Have I written a great American Jewish novel? Novel? Yes. Jewish? Perhaps. American? For sure. Great. Up to you. A? A. What do you want from me? A. It's A. It's autobiography of A. Are you learning yet? Are you smiling? Are you having a good time? I hope so.